folks, on a dreary, blustery Sunday when it's too cold to even go outside. It's a good chance to try another recipe that I got from Larry Wolfe. This one he is calling Cajun Cafe's Bourbon Chicken. And the way he raved about it, it's definitely something I have to try. I'm cutting his recipe down. He calls for 3 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I'm using a little over 1 pound. And cutting the sauce and everything proportionally, or more or less. I'm actually just cutting the sauce in half instead of in thirds, because I figure more sauce is always better. I'm cutting the chicken into roughly bite-sized pieces. And it's still partially frozen, which makes it a whole lot easier to cut. Now I have 2 or 3 tablespoons of peanut oil heating up in the wok. And when they do that, it's hot enough. Now we want to thoroughly brown the chicken. And I'm doing this over moderately high heat. It's still partially frozen, so I'm letting it take its time. And now, when it's pretty thoroughly browned, I start building the sauce. And again, I'm cutting his recipe in half. The full recipe will be down in the description. About 1.5 teaspoons of sesame oil. About 1/8 cup or so of good old bourbon. Quarter cup of shoyu, soy sauce. Hurry. Close enough. Another quarter cup of teriyaki sauce. And 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Stir this all thoroughly together. And when it's all mixed, just let it sit and simmer for about 15 minutes. And though the recipe doesn't call for it, it seems to cry for it. I'm adding about a teaspoon or so of white sesame seed. Stir as required. Rinse and repeat. Now I'm serving it over a bed of rice, cooked with lima beans. And it's not staying where I'm putting it. That will have to be dealt with. And now that it's more or less where I intended it to go, add a little steamed broccoli, a little chopped parsley, and I call it done. And now to test drive it, oh, oh, this is excellent. Come back here. Mm-hmm. Oh, this stuff is just fantastic. Give it a try. And excuse me while I commit piggery.